Depending on the type of agribusiness or agriculture venture you intend investing into, it comes with its own pros and cons. It means that in the sector of mushroom farming, there are different systems of growing your mushroom and selling to consumers. This week, we still are here in EHB, Eco Mushrooms, right?
Yes, yes.
Great. And I'm seated next to the CEO. This is basically to give a breakdown of how much an individual would need to set up this system we find here. Remember that when you go out there, we have different setup of growing the mushroom. But this one here is unique. It is different. So she's going to run us through how much you would need to grow the mushroom. So Aram, thanks for joining me once again.
Yeah, welcome.
And please do us the favor. Please, when it comes to the mushroom structures, which ones do we have before we zoom into this one we are using as an example and how much we'll be needing?
Okay. So there are different types of mushroom structures actually. So we have the modern ones. So people grow mushrooms in warehouses, in containers, in greenhouses. Then we have the ones we use in Ghana. Normally we use wood, bamboo to build a normal structure, sometimes with mats. And then we use thatch to reflect the sun or to prevent the sun from really affecting the mushrooms with the heat. Depending on, or you use mud to build a house, or you use cement or metal or anything that you feel can give you a nice cropping room. That one is really depends on what you want to achieve at the end of the day. So based on that, the costs per farm vary. So for now, we will look at what we use here at EHB and why I would even recommend this system to start with, and how it benefits you.
All right. So let's go into the figures. That's what matters the most. How much averagely, if the Ghanaian farmer wants to, copy this your system you have here and then practice. Tell me how much we are looking at and what goes into that amount.
Okay. So here we have a mud room, as you can see in the background. We have a mud room with thatch, which is a fuse of traditional Ghanaian mud rooms and the system we want to put in place because we wanted something that was traditional in its outlook. It's eco-friendly because we use most of the materials here we use are fusing with the environment. And then we created a unique system. So here we use mud, we use some mats even at the top by the thatch to provide that traditional look. And we use thatch, we use rock wool, we used a bit of bamboo with the mud to create the building. So for such a building, just to create the structure, we spent about 25,000 cedis. Combining wood, bamboo, mud, and thatch to create the beautiful structures you see here. For insulation, we used rock wool on top of the ceilings so that we can also keep out the heat in the rooms. For that per roof, we paid about 4,000 to 5,000 cedis because we had to use a couple of lines of the rock wool to insulate the top. Then for our metal racks, as you saw before, we chose metal because we felt they were more durable. So we had to shell a lot more than typical farms would buy. And so we had to spend 20,000 per room to make metal racks that are very durable and will last us over a very long time. But you can decide to use bamboo, you can decide to use wood, you can decide to use any material that you feel will work best for your farm. It is not a one-size-fits-all. And then when it comes to controlling the system in the rooms, we had to use 3 systems. So we have our misting and humidity systems. So we have normal misters that we bought from a company in Ghana. And then we also unfortunately, we had to import the humidity sensors. So we bought those online. So we bought those 2 just for the humidity. Then when it came to the ventilation, we had to combine extractor fans with the CO2 system that you saw earlier. So that is also for the ventilation bit. Then when it came to the cooling, because we have the rock wool on top. The room is also relatively cool, even without ACs. But to make sure that during the afternoons when it is very hot, especially right now in February when it's very hot, we turn on the ACs in the afternoons. In the evenings when it's much cooler, the ACs go back off, and it's just the fans that are working. So all of this combined meant that after we spent 20,000 on the structure and another 25 on, spent 25 on the structure and insulation, another 20 on the racks, we had to spend another 7,000 installing these small systems that you see. So we bought an AC for 4,000 cedis. We did the humidity and the systems for that. So altogether, we spent about 52,000 cedis to make sure that we have a system that is ready to provide mushrooms all year round. So if you want to do something like we've done here, that's how much it will cost you to put that beautiful house together, which will last you for years.
Okay. Okay. Now, it's clear as in how much you need to do the building, the rack coming in, the installation of some few techs here and there. But now let's look at when I introduce the bags into the room or onto my racks, how long is it taking me to start harvesting?
Okay.
And within every quarter, I mean every 3 months, how much approximately or averagely am I expected to do?
Okay. So when you depending on the supplier you pick for your bags, if you decide to make your bags in-house versus if you decide to buy the bags, we use 2 kg bags. The cost per bag is around 8 cedis to 10 cedis per bag. If you make your bags yourself, you might spend around 7 cedis per bag. So if we say the bags cost between 8 to 10 cedis per bag, each room takes about 3,500 bags per room, which means you are going to spend between 28 to 35,000 on the bags in the room. These bags are giving you approximately 350 grams to 450 grams per bag, which means that at the end of each 3 months, you are harvesting and selling between 70,000 to 110,000. That is on average.
Averagely.
If your bags do well, if the conditions are very good, you can get 500 grams and more per bag.
Okay.
Then your profits are going much higher.
Right.
Then you can say that you would employ 1 person or 2 people to work for you. If you employ 1 person, for each room, maybe around 800 cedis per month for the person to run the room, because already you are misting the room on its own. Yeah. Most of the systems are in place. So the person does harvesting, the person takes care of the bags, and at the end of the month, you pay him about 800 cedis per month. If you need a person to do other things on the farm, then those costs go. But I think that mostly depends on negotiation for you.
Okay.
Here at the farm, we pay our workers much more than the 800 per farm. But I'm saying, as a startup, that is what I believe you can afford to start with. As you see the work progress, you give them much more than that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. This amount you mentioned, I mean the kilograms of mushroom, worst case 350 grams, best case 450 and above.
Yes.
So this 70,000 every quarter versus 110,000 every quarter, how many cycles of this money would now help me to start, comfortably taking out the real money I invested into the business?
Okay, so you need to look at your, also you need to look at your other consumables you use. But that really varies depending on the farm.
Okay.
Maybe somebody will want to use the best packaging there is to pack their mushrooms. Somebody wants to use what is available. Somebody wants to use something else. So those costs vary and other things vary. So depending on all of those costs that vary, I think you need to look at your business and then look at it and say that, okay, I want to keep this amount of working capital in the business. So maybe I would want to use a year to turn over that money in the business so that the business can sustain itself. Then after 1.5 years, I believe you can begin to take out your money. Then your business has had enough chance to turn over the money and then you can survive without the capital. But it varies based on the discussions. If there's a partnership, it varies based on how much you want to give back your partner and all of those things. But it is business specific.
Right. Okay. So that's it. Very short, but very insightful, very detailed. And you are hearing that from someone who has been in this space from 2019 up until now. And together with her partners, they have this molding structure. If you're not, in fact, I thought it was block and cement. Apparently, it's mud. You know, this mud we have here, but it's well cemented and well painted. I was asking you, is there any unique reason for painting the structure white?
Our colors are white and orange and green. So actually we want to do the bottom of all of the buildings orange.
Okay.
So maybe next time you visit, you see
I will
that
see
it's
the
white
orange
and orange.
colors.
Yes.
Okay. But looking at the figures you mentioned, it looks very juicy, very attractive. All things be equal if you adhere to the principles and the protocols that she mentioned. But isn't this capital intensive?
It is actually. Commercial, you see, when I came on the show, I kept on differentiating between hobby mushroom farming and commercial.
Right.
Commercial mushroom farming is capital intensive.
Right.
A lot of times we are told, oh, you don't need any money, you just need a few things and you can start. Yes, well, you need a few things if you want to do hobby farming. But if you want to go into commercial farming where customers are depending on you to produce and provide when they want it, then it means that you need to do a bit more investment in making sure that everything is right and all your parameters are right and you can supply when the market wants it, because they are not asking for excuses.
Okay.
All they want is mushrooms.
Okay.
So, yes.
Okay. Now, the temperatures. So, before we wrap up, the temperatures, I mean, this small gadget, including a rag, how many circles do I use it before I begin to do some maintenance and replacement and all that?
So far, we have used our sensors since we started 2 years ago.
Okay.
We have hardly replaced any of them. So I believe if you buy the right materials, they should last you for a bit before.
Your team, do you go to do the installation if I call you to come and do it?
Yes, yes. Actually, we help people decide on what designs they want, even for their cropping room, because sometimes not everybody can even use mud.
Yeah.
Some people want to do it in their homes and co. So, because my team is made up of engineers in that space, we come sit with you, decide your budget, what you want, and we can help you build a mushroom house to standard. Yes.
Okay. But for me, Ghanaian farmer, it's on discount. In fact, I'm crediting it. I'll be paying installments. Okay, so please, how do we find you? Your social media, any contact number you want to share for those who want to reach out to you, possibly looking at something similar like you have here.
Yes. We are on Instagram as EHBGH Farms. We are also on Facebook as EHB GH Farm. You can call us on 055 958 3590. Any day, anytime, for mushrooms, for consultancy with relation to irrigation, to mushroom farming, even for us to uptake and help you market your mushroom, because we do that a lot. We take from a lot of smallholder farmers and supply. So even if you want to us to be in our network, you produce for us to sell, we are always open for business, whether irrigation, mushroom, any business consultancy, we are open.
Is the system running on ECG or on solar?
Currently we are on ECG, but we are migrating towards solar. So
what if ECG goes off? How many long can the room be without light and it will still be in perfect condition?
We have a generator on standby.
Hey!
That we use.
Okay.
So yes, we use ECG and a genset on standby. Yes.
So when ECG goes off,
we have to turn the genset.
When doom comes, you have to go on genset.
Yes.
Okay, so that's it. Going off without asking this question would have been a big blow. It's very important that even if you're running on Electricity Company of Ghana, aka you know their name, make sure you have generator on standby you, so that when they say doom, you just switch over and then you are comfortable. This is the Ghanaian Farmer. My name is Enyona Manye. When you see me in town, remember to call me Ghana's finest farmer. Get interactive on our social media platform, on YouTube, LinkedIn, on Twitter, Instagram, and of course on Facebook, The Ghanaian Farmer. Or just type the name Enyona Manye. I am the #1. No doubt about it. No competition. Whoever doesn't understand, come and face me. I'll be waiting for you. Until then, thank you very much for having us.
Yeah, welcome.
We'll see you some other time. Bye-bye.